Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I am Valsa Williams with the midday news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls upon scientists to innovate, patent, produce and prosper to develop a long-term roadmap for sustainable development. Uttar Pradesh government sends a report to the centre seeking ban on PFI for indulging in violence during anti-CAA protests. BJP to begin 10-day mass contact drive from Sunday to mobilise support for the Citizenship Amendment Act. Centre sends multi-disciplinary expert team of doctors to take stock of death of children at Kota hospital in Rajasthan. And Iranian General Qassem Soleimani killed in US airstrike at Baghdad International Airport. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called upon scientists to follow 4 steps: innovate, patent, produce and prosper to lead the country towards faster development. The Prime Minister was speaking after inaugurating the 107th Indian Science Congress ISC at the University of Agricultural Sciences in Bengaluru today.
Innovate, patent, produce and prosper. These 4 steps will lead our country towards faster development. Innovation for the people and by the people is the direction of our new India.
Stressing the need to transform the landscape of Indian science, technology and innovation, the Prime Minister said the growth story of India depends on its success in the science and technology sector. Mr. Modi said India must also develop a long-term roadmap for sustainable and environment-friendly transportation and energy storage options. The Prime Minister said we must try and change all forms of waste into wealth as soon as possible. He said the government is trying to ensure that by 2022, the country reduces the import of crude oil by 10%. He said the country has decided to let go of single-use plastic for preserving the environment, water ecosystem and soil. Mr. Modi said technology is the strength of the Jal Jeevan mission and it is the responsibility of scientists to develop cheap and effective technology for the recycling of water. He said water governance is a new frontier for the scientists. He said digital technology, e-commerce, internet banking and mobile banking services are assisting the rural population significantly.
Today, farmers are getting the required information about the weather and forecast at their fingertips through many e-governance initiatives. Farmers are able to sell their products directly to the market without being at the mercy of the middleman.
The Prime Minister also launched the Indian Science, Technology and Engineering Facilities Map, iSTEM portal, which is designed to be the gateway for researchers to locate specific type of facility they need for their research and development work in India. Speaking on the occasion, Union Science and Technology Minister Harshvardhan noted that the vision of the Prime Minister, as announced during the 104th Science Congress, has been realized today. The theme of ISC this year is Science and Technology, Rural Development. The 5-day event brings together the science fraternity from across the world to discuss scientific innovation and research. More from our correspondent.
The 5-day Science Congress in Bengaluru has received overwhelming response from the scientific community. The Pride of India Expo is dominated by CSIR labs with active participation from universities and startups. Since Bengaluru is the IT, science and startup capital, the event was eagerly awaited by many. During the inauguration today, iSTEM portal was launched by the Prime Minister. This will help link researchers with the resources essential for research like funds and infrastructure. During the inauguration today, 2 Nobel laureates were present and a session is exclusively devoted for the farming sector. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
The Uttar Pradesh government has sent a report to the centre seeking a ban on Popular Front of India PFI for indulging in violence during last month's anti-CAA protests. State DGP O.P. Singh told a press conference in Lucknow that the State Home Department sent its report after PFI's Uttar Pradesh head Wasim and 16 other activists were arrested for allegedly masterminding the violence in the state capital during protests. He said police have enough evidence of the involvement of the PFI in the recent violence during protests in Lucknow and other districts.
PFI जो है वो सक्रिय रूप से इसमें इन्वॉल्व रहा है। यही कारण है कि हमने 25 उनके सक्रिय मेंबर्स को गिरफ्तार किया। हमारे पास एम्पल प्रूफ्स हैं, डॉक्यूमेंटेशंस हैं, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक फुटप्रिंट्स हैं, हमारे पास डेटा एक्सट्रैक्शंस के जितने भी वो हैं उन सबों से हमें ये प्रतीत होता है कि उनका इन्वॉल्वमेंट रहा है।
The DGP said police are investigating the role of other groups, including Rihai Manch, who were also involved in the violence. The BJP will begin a 10-day mass contact drive from Sunday to mobilise support for the Citizenship Amendment Act. Briefing media at BJP headquarters in New Delhi today, Party General Secretary Dr. Anil Jain said BJP President and Home Minister Amit Shah will join the drive in Delhi. He said Working President JP Nadda will start the drive in Ghaziabad. Rajnath Singh will join the drive in Lucknow and Nitin Gadkari in Nagpur. Mr. Jain said all leading faces of the party, ranging from union ministers to organizational leaders, will travel to various parts of the country during the drive. He said during the campaign, party leaders and workers will contact 3 crore families to rally support for the CAA.
तो ऐसी 5 जनजागरण अभियान के तहत पहली समिति है जनसंपर्क अभियान, जिसमें 3 करोड़ परिवारों को हमें संपर्क करना है। दूसरी समिति बनी है संवाद समिति। तीसरा है विशेष श्रेणी संपर्क, सामाजिक संपर्क श्रेणी। चौथा कार्यक्रम है हमारा सोशल मीडिया का और 5वां है मीडिया।
As part of its program, the BJP has launched a toll-free number 88662 88662 for people to give missed calls to register their endorsement of the law. Railway Minister Piyush Goyal has said that the opposition is deliberately trying to confuse people about the Citizenship Amendment Act, CAA. Addressing a function in Mumbai today, he said the opposition parties are insecure about themselves and they are provoking people to resort to violence.
विपक्ष शायद कंफ्यूज्ड है या एक डेलिब्रेट प्लान के हिसाब से कोशिश कर रहा है कि जनता को कंफ्यूज किया जाए इस सिटीजनशिप अमेंडमेंट एक्ट के बारे में। हो सकता है उनको लग रहा हो कि ये सरकार तेज गति से देशहित और जनहित के इतने सारे कार्य कर रही है कि विपक्ष की रेलेवेंस कम ना हो जाए।
Mr. Goyal said India has provided protection to every religion without any kind of discrimination and maintained a secular environment. He said the CAA has given justice to minorities persecuted on religious grounds in Pakistan and some other countries. Mr. Goyal said that CAA intends to provide a life of dignity to all the sufferers. He also appealed to people to understand that the CAA is not a political topic but a humanitarian issue. Gujarat Police has decided to recover the money for damages caused to public property by violent protesters during anti-CAA protests from the accused in the related cases. Public property was damaged during 2 such violent protests in Ahmedabad and Vadodara on the 19th and 20th of December, respectively. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com. The centre has sent a team of doctors to take stock of death of children at Kota's JK Lone Hospital in Rajasthan. The multi-disciplinary expert team, including top paediatricians, has been sent by Union Health and Family Welfare Ministry for gap analysis and to take quick measures. The high-level team includes experts from AIIMS, Jodhpur, and Regional Director of Health Services, Jaipur. Rajasthan Ministers Raghu Sharma and Pratap Singh Kachariawas are also visiting the hospital today. Meanwhile, the death toll of children at JK Lone Hospital has risen to 104 since December the 1st. More from our correspondent.
The state government has been cornered from all quarters on the issue of death of infants in Kota. State BJP President Satish Punia has demanded the resignation of Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot on moral ground. BSP Chief Mayawati has also described Gehlot government as insensitive. The Health Minister is also facing criticism for visiting Kota after 9 days of the matter came to light. Some reports have also revealed that ventilators, warmers and other equipment used for treatment of children are in worse condition for last several months. On the other hand, Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot today again claimed that the government was sensitive about the issue of death of children. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
Home Minister Amit Shah has said no one in the government has ever called the 3 detained former chief ministers of the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir anti-national. Speaking to a news channel, Mr. Shah said a decision on their release will be taken by the administration of the Union Territory. He said Farooq Abdullah, Umar Abdullah and Mehbooba Mufti had to be detained for some time after they made provocative statements. Many political leaders in Jammu and Kashmir, including the 3 former chief ministers, were detained on August the 5th, the day the centre announced abrogation of Article 370 provisions and bifurcation of the state into the Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Iranian General Qassem Soleimani, the head of Iran's elite Quds force, was killed in a U.S. airstrike on Baghdad International Airport. The White House and the Pentagon have confirmed the killing of Soleimani in Iraq. At least 8 people were killed in the attack. Iranian state media also confirmed Soleimani's death. Iran's Revolutionary Guards said Iraqi militia leader Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis was among those killed. In a statement, the Pentagon said at the direction of the President, the U.S. military has taken decisive defensive action to protect U.S. personnel abroad by killing Qassem Soleimani. The statement said the strike was aimed at deterring future Iranian attack plans. Iran's foreign minister slammed the killing of Quds Force commander Qassem Soleimani as a dangerous escalation and warned the United States would bear responsibility for the consequences. The drone strike comes days after protesters attacked the U.S. embassy in Baghdad, clashing with U.S. forces at the scene. The Pentagon said General Soleimani approved the attacks on the embassy. Oil prices today soared more than 2% following news that the U.S. had killed a top Iranian general, fanning fresh fears of a conflict in the crude-rich region. The United States aviation regulator FAA has warned American airlines and their pilots that there is risk involved in operating flights in Pakistan airspace due to extremist or militant activity. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, in a notice to airmen has said there continues to be a risk to U.S. civil aviation sector from attacks from airports and aircraft in Pakistan. This is particularly for aircraft on the ground and aircraft operating at low altitudes, including during the arrival and departure phases of flights. Union Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri today handed over conveyance deeds and registry papers of houses to 20 residents of unauthorized colonies in Delhi. The documents were given to the residents of Raja Vihar and Samepur Badli at a press conference in the city. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today paid tributes to social reformer Savitribai Phule on her birth anniversary. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said Savitribai Phule dedicated her life for social unity, education and women's empowerment. Assam is fully geared up for the 3rd edition of Khelo India Youth Games to be held in Guwahati from the 10th till the 22nd of this month. This was stated by Director General of Sports Authority of Assam, Omkar Kedia, and Social Welfare Department Secretary Hemen Das while participating in a talk show on All India Radio in Guwahati last evening. Speaking exclusively to All India Radio News, Mr. Kedia said the best infrastructure as well as sports equipment will be provided to athletes during the event.
We have made extensive preparations in terms of infrastructure and equipment. Every venue has been refurbished. We have laid a new turf of lawn ball and there is a new maple wood flooring also for the badminton. Also, we have gone in for the best possible equipment. We have brought some equipment from abroad and it is the best quality equipment and which will be good enough to hold the best of international competition.
And now before we end the bulletin, here are the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls upon scientists to innovate, patent, produce and prosper to develop a long-term roadmap for sustainable development. Uttar Pradesh government sends a report to the centre seeking ban on PFI for indulging in violence during anti-CAA protests. BJP to begin 10-day mass contact drive from Sunday to mobilise support for the Citizenship Amendment Act. And with that, we end the midday news.